Welcome to the Lounge Lizards podcast. It's so good to have you here. It's a leisure and lifestyle podcast founded on our love of premium cigars, as well as whiskey, travel, food, work, and whatever else we feel like getting into. My name is Gizmo. Tonight I'm joined by Rooster, Pagoda, Grinder, and Bam Bam. And our plan is to smoke a cigar, drink some non-alcoholic beer, talk about life, and of course, have some laughs. So take this as your 57th official invitation to join us and become a card-carrying lounge lizard. Plan to meet us here once a week. We're going to smoke a New World cigar tonight, share our thoughts on it, and give you our formal lizard rating. We discuss the boom of non-alcoholic beer and spirits, Canada's crackdown on smoking indoors, Drew Estate's creativity, and our frustration with tip culture, all among a variety of other things for the next hour. So sit back, get your favorite drink, light up a cigar, and enjoy as we pair non-alcoholic Becks and Guinness Draught with the Drew Estate Undercrown Maduro in Gran Toro. A Gran Toro from Undercrown tonight from Drew Estate. A beautiful 6-inch by 52 ring gauge cigar. Comes in this very cool tubo with a packed foot. What is that thing in the foot there? Like
it looks just like a piece of sponge.
It's a protector for the foot protector.
Looks like a little spare leaf or something.
Yeah, well, I don't actually think it is tobacco leaf.
Smells like it.
Yeah, it might be. They've done that before with another cigar they make. It's a flavored cigar, like the Tobacco Special or something like that. I forget what it's called, or the Laratuna, or what? It's the natural spelled backwards. What is that? You're all.
I don't know. I feel like I'm doing a test, but what alphabet backwards test?
Yeah.
I just went blank.
Whatever that is,
but Latern,
something like that. But they have a cigar that they basically package in this kind of stuff, so it's not surprising.
So it's nice because it protects the foot. But
and the presentation's fantastic.
For a $12.50, $13 cigar,
beautiful. I mean, blue and gold tube.
Yeah, these really stand out.
The footband is cool.
Is
it blue or is it
Larutan?
It's definitely blue. So they have three different wrapper and flavor profiles in the Undercrown line. It's the Shade, which is white, the Sun Grown, which is the middle one, is red, and the Maduro is blue.
Cool. Which the Connecticut Shade one is the youngest of them all. That one came out like the most recently, and then I think it was the first year it came out was like 2005 or something.
Got it.
And it was like the Maduro that we have, and then it was
the Sun Grown, and then the Shade.
Yeah,
the Shade is a great cigar for beginners. This one we'll see. I haven't had one of these in a long, long time. Really looking forward to trying it tonight. So as someone mentioned, I don't know who did, but it has a really nice, elegant footband on it that just says Maduro. So we'll peel that off, and let's cut this thing, boys.
Nice.
See, we're getting on the cold draw on the wrapper. It's really well constructed. I mean,
yeah, and honestly, it's the aroma is reminiscent of a Liga 9.
So this is apparently the heir apparent, as I've seen on the internet, to the Liga 9 series. So obviously Liga, we did...
well, isn't this the little brother to
it's the little brother of the Liga. Yeah. So Willie Herrera, famous blender for Drew Estate, wanted the rollers to create something not only that they would like, but that he would like, that wasn't at the price point of a $17, $20
No,
Liga
so
9.
but Willie only blended the Connecticut Shade. The first two were not blended by Willie.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And the story that the reality, he had nothing to do with the genesis of Undercrown. So the genesis of the Undercrown was that they were having the rollers roll the Liga series cigars, and they were smoking them because that you can smoke the cigars. It was a very hot cigar with high margin and blah 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 blah. And they said, guys, you can't smoke all our inventory. Yeah. You're smoking so many of these. So they made another one. The blenders made their own, and it was similar but with different tobacco to the Liga. And they started smoking that, and then Drew Estate was like, wow, this is just as good. We'll release it, and under the kind of Liga, it looks a little Liga-ish. It
does.
And this wrapper, this Maduro wrapper, is like very Liga. It's very traditional Liga.
It's reminiscent, although the Liga is more iridescent.
Yeah, it has a shine
oily.
to it.
It's oilier.
And it's thicker.
Yeah.
It's much thicker.
Toothier and oilier.
Yeah.
So, which, this is probably younger, I'm guessing.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean,
it's beautiful. The wrapper's
I like
gorgeous.
it. I love. I like these cigars a lot. I don't know if I love them, but
I haven't had one in a long time, so I'm really looking forward to trying them. And
Me
I think anything in that price point that hits some of the notes, even, I mean, it's certainly well worth it because cigars are getting expensive.
Oh yeah.
you
Yeah,
know,
this
as
is
we've talked
supposed to
about.
be a little bit like kind of under the Liga,
Yeah.
Sure.
like as far as the strength and
And flavor.
flavor profile, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
And price point.
Price point, big time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Liga was like what, 17, 18?
I think was
Right,
almost
right under-
19.
Yeah, it was maybe
right
even a little
under
more
20.
than that.
Yeah,
And
that
this
big
is
Liga we
about, this
smoked.
is like 12, 13.
Yeah.
So, what are you guys getting on the cold draw on the wrapper?
A hint of raisin, like I got
Yeah,
in a Liga 9.
Dried fruit.
Tobacco, if you want to call it that.
Mm-hmm.
Cedar, deep cedar.
I'm getting cedar, and it's funny. Well, they were in tubos.
They were in cedar wine
Yeah.
tubos. Yeah.
But,
But-
you can smell the Maduro wrapper,
Yeah.
you know, like this,
Yeah, it's
the
nice.
sweet Maduro.
Yeah,
It seems like construction is great. My draw is absolutely flawless.
it's awesome.
I mean,
I can't wait to smoke it.
this is fantastic.
Let's
Yeah.
do it.
All right, boys, let's light this thing. The Drew Estate Undercrown Maduro in Gran Toro. Again, it's a 52 ring gauge by 6-inch cigar.
It's
Really,
good
really
size.
nice.
I like the size.
It's a great
You know,
size.
normally, I think we've talked about it. I'm not going to reach for a Toro. I think most of us probably don't.
Nope, doesn't look like a
Um,
Toro.
It doesn't look like a Toro. It almost looks like either a Robusto Extra or I
Well,
don't
it's
know.
not a Toro, it's a Gran Toro.
Gran Toro, yeah.
I like it. Oh, I like it a lot.
It's really nice on the light.
Very smooth.
Definitely has more of I hesitate to use the word rough edge than what I would think, when you have the Liga, but it's not a bad rough edge. It's almost like drinking a bourbon or a scotch that has a little bit more.
I find it smooth.
Yeah, it just has a little more oomph to it, I think.
It's definitely not as smooth as the Liga. It's
Yeah.
a little sharper or edgy. I don't know if you use the word edgy or you can tell it's not as aged. I mean, at least when I draw on this and I smoke a lot of Ligas and I think the T51, so I'm very fond of that cigar. You can immediately tell it's not as aged. It's got some of that, but it's good. It's still good. It's still Maduro, aged Maduro.
Yeah.
What's cool is I'm just holding my cigar. This thing has some crazy
It's
combustion.
got a very good combustion.
I mean, look at that. It's a chimney and I'm just holding it.
Yeah,
That's cool.
that's the Liga DNA.
Yeah.
Yeah, they work very hard at being
100%.
chimneys.
What's your favorite like Drew Estate cigar? I mean, maybe like
Oh.
top 3.
So I T51.
52.
Sorry, T51.
Yeah.
T52 in Toro. I like that cigar a lot.
Flavor wise, is that like a Liga?
Yeah, it's just
Less,
it's very
more?
rich. It's very chocolatey. It's very smooth. It's kind of oily. And yeah, I mean, I love that cigar. I don't know. You've probably had it, Pagoda.
Yeah, I have. Although I prefer the number 9 for whatever reason.
Yeah, I like the 9. It's just not. I'm not as fond of the 9.
It's more flavorful.
Yeah,
It feels.
I find
it's
it
got
to
more
that's why.
strength.
the
too, I
strength.
think,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. And I don't. I like
You like
more medium bodied, cigars, and the T52 is good. Is up there. I like the Herrera Esteli.
We did that on the pod.
We did.
The Herrera Esteli in Robusto. That's a great stick.
Yeah.
Although, I don't know, we didn't give it a good ranking, though.
Well, I'll tell you right now. So we gave the Liga Privada number 9 and 8.4.
Excellent score.
That's excellent. yeah.
That's a really good score. And then Herrera Esteli, the Habano Robusto Grande, we gave a 6.3.
Yeah, I remember it not being a great score.
I think that cigar was warped in some way.
May not have been kept well.
I don't
may
think
not.
it was kept well.
Yeah.
think
This
the
is off to a great start, though. I
The
mean,
Lancero and the Herrera Esteli might be a
So
good
I have
choice to do it on the pod.
Almost any Lancero is probably a good bet.
Yeah.
I have some cigars. I'll share with you guys after the at some point. The third one is the Herrera Esteli Lonsdale Norteño.
Yeah.
Which is a very good cigar.
It's got a green and white label.
green and white. and it's
Almost
very
looks like an old Ramona Yones
Yeah.
label.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's a cool label. It's very strong. It's kind of at not in my typical swim lane, but I like it.
Yeah, so after smoking the Foundation cigars, I was introduced to the Liga 9. Um, and that's because Nick Melillo had worked for Drew Estate and was involved in somehow with Liga 9 production, and I really enjoyed it. And I tried the T52 and the 9, and for some reason I just prefer the 9 over the years. And the size, we smoked the Toro, but I do prefer the double Corona, and I've had the double Corona after that, and maybe it's just, it's one of those things with cigar smoking that if you feel a little nostalgic or you get tied to something, you just tend to enjoy it a bit more. And so for me, I've always preferred the double Corona. And I know, Bam, you were mentioning Corona Viva, right, as a
No,
size?
that's the one I smoke. I bought 2 boxes of those.
Oh, you did? By the way, I
So-
did too, from my house.
Yeah, I got it from my Havanas.
Yeah,
Great
they're
price.
really good deals. Great price. Yeah.
So that cigar,
Yeah.
we did the Toro. I love Corona. We've talked about certainly my size preference is a little bit lower, smaller of a ring gauge, but the Corona Viva it's almost identical to like a Magnum 46 in size, an H. Upman Magnum 46 from Cuba, which I love, and to me it performs even better than the
The
Liga
Toro.
that we had on the pod.
No, correct.
You know.
I think, yeah. So it's funny, because it seems to me, and in fact, is that we just tend to not like Toros
Yeah.
as much as some of the other
I
sizes.
like Toros a lot.
Yeah, grinder likes them.
I do like Toros a lot. I just I don't think they get much justice in this group. It's pretty aggressive on anti-Toros, but I was gonna say that another good cigar, it's probably tying for third, is this series, but in the Connecticut shade. I think that's one of the best Connecticut shade cigars on the market for good price. Anytime
love
of
it.
day. It's a great cigar.
People love the Undercrown shade.
Yeah.
Love it. It's a great cigar for folks who are beginners. Certainly is a price point, entry point, well constructed, very consistent.
Yeah, they're beautiful.
And then also
cigars.
for folks that have a palate that gravitates towards mild or medium, that is a great cigar for them.
Yeah, and
You
this
know?
this cigar, by the way,
This is really good.
getting much better. Like,
It is.
I don't know how far I am. What would you
Yeah.
call that? Like
Quarter of an inch.
Sure.
Did any of you get it?
Whatever that is, it was a little rough to begin with, and it's just kind of it's bringing back those notes and flavor profiles of a Liga wrapper.
Yeah. Do you, I was thinking of this the other day. Like, as you're smoking cigars and you go through different seasons, spring, summer,
Seasons of love.
fall, winter. Like, when we start getting into fall, I prefer a
more robust.
more robust
cigar.
cigar.
Yeah, me too.
Yes.
Is that a common?
In this
Yeah.
room?
Welcome to the new world.
I think so.
Welcome to the new world.
No, I find
He's right.
I find like in the summer, if we talk about outliers of our palate, right? So let's think about your regular rotation in cigars that kind of sit outside that, which is in peril, is right with what Rooster's saying here.
Yep.
My answer to what Rooster's saying is that those answers are seasonal for me. So in the fall, winter, a cigar that jumps into my rotation that's normally not is the late hour. The late hour Robusto and Churchill, that's like a November, December, January, like it's kind of cold.
February,
You're around
March.
Yeah.
It's like a
May,
fireplace,
June.
right? You like picture
it's
yourself
a
sitting
fireplace
by the
cigar.
Fireplace.
Yes.
It's like
Yeah.
a fireplace.
Yes,
cigar.
exactly. And then in the summer, those cigars for me are like the Schwa Supreme or something that has that kind of citrus flavor from Cuba.
Our Cuban line.
The Cuban line.
Yeah.
So I'm curious what your others, what everybody else's
Yeah,
outliers
the
are.
cutie Corona Claro in
Yeah,
the summer
in the
with
summer.
with the wheat beer.
Yep.
Yep.
That's right.
Yeah, and
Any of the Padrones, Exclusivo,
but those are regular rotation.
they are. But in the winter, there's nothing like an Exclusivo in your hand.
See, I'll go a step further. In the winter,
Diplomatico.
I'll gravitate toward Family Reserve line
Oh,
with
yeah.
like a bourbon. If I'm
Yeah.
cold, I'll sip a bourbon to warm
Yep.
up a little bit.
Yep. The 45th
And
The
have a
90th.
40th.
90th. I could see
90th.
Rooster with the 90th right there.
after
Oh,
dinner.
the black label.
Yep.
Only
that
after
black
dinner.
label,
After
yeah.
dinner.
No, Not after dinner.
Grinder, what are your outliers outside of your regular rotation? Is there anything that's seasonal for you, or do you kind of?
Attaboy.
No, I don't think so. I mean, well, I'll be honest with you. I tend to smoke AJs in fall. I smoke Cubans all summer.
Yep.
Winter time, I would agree. I kind of get heavy on Davidoff, but that's because I'm invariably smoking in some nice lounge somewhere because it's cold, and I want to smoke a nice cigar and feel like I'm getting value out of it, and that's why I'll smoke that. But AJs are like a lot of the fall season. Whenever we get to that time of year, I go up to Pennsylvania a lot.
Yeah.
And spend a lot of time in the woods with my family. My in-laws have a lake house, and we do a lot of campfires. And it's a rustic cigar. It's got a lot of punch. So in the colder weather, it can sustain itself and hold up to the weather in some way. And you're probably sipping on some kind of bourbon. Somebody brought Bullet in a 2-liter bottle,
and you're so happy drinking it.
Yeah. And that's an AJ for me. Like he's made a lot of good cigars. Some of the earlier AJs are the preferable ones.
What
but
you mentioned, like the New World?
Yeah, the New Worlds. San Latano. Like those cigars are really good.
Okay.
And
we got to do
Last
some AJs.
Call.
Do it on the pod.
We got to do some AJs on the pod at some point. Yeah.
But by the way, it's so funny you say San Latano and Last Call. Those are all one of my buddies who I golf with. He loves those.
They're good. They're good sticks.
Yeah.
They have a lot of flavor, and they're little. They're not as aged, but he does a decent job of blending it and marketing it, and they're readily available and they're always discounted.
Yeah.
Cool.
Bam Bam, what are your outliers usually? Anything we haven't said?
No, I think you guys have covered it. I don't have a late hour very often.
Yeah, I don't either.
So that's
Except for when it's cold.
Yeah, that's certainly one. The Millennium is a staple for me. The Diplomatico, that's the Padron Diplomatico. That is an outlier
That's
for me.
the 1964 Churchill.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have that often. So if I'm in a lounge, that's a great cigar option for me.
You know what
That I don't
cigar?
have a lot.
You know what cigar jumps at me in the summer that doesn't really around the rest of the year? For some reason, the Padron 1964 Maduro and Torpedo, I'll do when it's warmer because it has like a sweetness thing to it that the Exclusivo and the Diplomatico
Yeah.
don't. I feel like they're a little bit more like, hey, we're here and we're gonna, we're ready to fight.
It is applicable for a winter smoke as well.
It is,
There's a
of
lot of
course,
body in
of
there.
I think it's an any time after
Yeah.
dinner smoke.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
Pagoda, do you have any outliers outside your regular rotation that are season based?
Not really. I think all Cubans have been outliers for me. But
Yeah.
now that
You smoke more Cubans.
I was gonna say,
than-
not
you smoke
anymore,
just
man.
As many as
Yeah.
the rest of
You're
us.
probably 1-to-1.
No, yeah. Now I think this summer I did smoke a lot of Cubans for sure. But yeah, meaning like the way I look at it is if I have a good cigar in hand, it doesn't matter where I am and what I'm doing. I'll smoke it.
Yeah. So
Nice.
that's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Hey, so Grinder mentioned being in a really nice lounge and having a Davidoff or a really good cigar, and we have to mention how happy we are to be recording tonight again at the 1086 Lounge,
That's right.
our clubhouse in Hawthorne, New Jersey.
Yes, sir.
We love it here.
Home away from home.
A+ place.
Always.
Yeah, I'm just grateful that John lets us set up shop in here and it looks like a rat's nest with all these cables, but we're able to do the pod here, and we're very
it's
happy
awesome.
about it.
It's
We just
awesome.
love coming here.
The
Very
golf
grateful.
simulator is
Golf
really
simulator.
awesome.
Actually, Grinder and I were here pretty late last night, hanging out. Just two of us and some friends. So, Henry was here.
Nice.
Nick was here. A bunch of lizards were here.
Cool.
And Grinder was actually pining. It was
get in
about
here?
11:30. He's like, I really want to go hit some golf balls in the simulator. But 24-hour key card access here at our clubhouse. Come check it out, Hawthorne, New Jersey. We love it.
We're very fortunate to be recording in this space right now.
We are.
As I think about it more and more.
Yeah.
Very, very fortunate.
The proprietor has really
I mean,
done great jobs with the humidor. He's sourcing some good quality sticks.
These Drew Estate Undercrowns came out of there tonight in the Tubo.
That's right.
Yeah.
Right out of the humidor.
Right out of the humidor.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're very grateful to John and 1086, and we really encourage any lizards who may be local, passing through, or if you live in the area of northern New Jersey,
Come on down.
pop in because you will not be disappointed by this place. Grab a smoke and sit down and have a drink
And have a party.
and have a party.
You may have one of these exotic beers that we're drinking right now.
Yeah, let's talk about. We talked a little bit about liquor too, but tonight, for the first time, we are
Yep.
inviting Rooster into the formal liquor that's going to be non-liquor rating.
Oh no!
He's
I finally get to rate something.
You get to rate it. You get to rate it.
he's expanding his connoisseur corner.
Absolutely. So we are drinking non-alcoholic beverages tonight, gentlemen, and we are starting with Beck's, which is one. You drink this non-alcoholic beer a lot, correct?
Yeah, I like Beck's. I mean, I used to like Beck's, even the regular version, but since I stopped drinking, I like the non-alcoholic. I mean, like Grinder said, it's a Pilsner lager in that format.
That's really delicious.
Tasty.
Is that your first sip?
Yeah.
Honestly, it's very good.
It is.
I'm
So
surprised.
That was my first sip.
If I had poured a glass for you guys, and it's kind of too late now, and I hadn't told you that this is a
I would know.
non-alcoholic beer,
I would know.
Would you know?
Yeah,
I think
Right
I would
away?
know.
I could tell you why.
Right away.
I'll
Yeah.
tell you why.
Like what's missing, or
I could tell.
For
well,
me,
you guys could tell because you're big time beer drinkers. I mean, especially
this-
Grinder.
this would go down. I can drink this entire glass without stopping. Alcohol, a beer that has alcohol in it. It's
It's
harder to
effervescence.
drink. It's a little
Were
harder.
you
to
were you not in a frat? You never did funnels.
drink. Never. I've never done a funnel.
Yeah, it's like flat beer.
You want to do a Beck's funnel right now?
It's just so easy to drink this. It's
He went to architect school. Do you think they had
Architect
fun at
school.
architect school?
no. We were sipping on martinis in studio.
I think he was in one of those.
Is this postmodern or modern?
Let me take a look.
Probably one of those honor fraternities. Lambda, lambda, lambda.
Oh,
It's very, very good. I can,
Nonetheless, it's a
good
tasty,
retort there.
it is.
tasty beer.
I can taste that it doesn't have alcohol in it, but I
Yeah.
probably because I have a bias that I know that it doesn't have alcohol in it.
So I know it's not beer. Sorry.
It
I know
is beer.
yeah, it's very much beer. I know it's not alcoholic beer because of how sweet it is to me.
Sweet.
And it tastes like a Beck's that someone artificially tries to flavor like a Beck's, which is good. I like it.
Yeah.
It's fun.
So I don't know about that. For me, it seems a bit flat, right? Because
well, it's
the
been
bubbles
sitting.
are not there, the effervescence, maybe because it's been sitting for a while,
Yeah.
but definitely sweeter, and it feels lighter bodied or something. I'm not.
I like it.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
very
good.
it's
It's good though.
very
It's
drinkable.
refreshing.
It's
I think
delicious.
this is because this might be the first time you guys are trying out a non-alcoholic beer.
It
Yeah.
I think more and more, if it's really chilled, and if I had just poured it, I think it's really delicious. And if you just pour it, and drink it.
I mean, I could drink this all day.
I'm
Yeah.
all in. It's delicious
It's
right
very
now.
good.
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm
I think
surprised.
I'm gonna get a few like beers in my house, non-alcoholic beer,
Mm.
just because there are times I want to smoke without having alcohol,
This is true.
and
Well,
so,
great
But you want a
option.
beer.
but you want
Yeah.
a beer.
Exactly.
Great option.
Kind of resolves that.
Yeah, and it's amazing what's out there now. I mean, I think almost every single beer manufacturer has a 0, or this might be like a 0.5.
Mm-hmm.
But some of my favorite brands, Beck's is obviously one of them. Buckler, there's one called Erdinger, Klausthaler.
Mm-hmm. These are German.
Uh,
all German.
all
The Germans have a
German,
lot
yeah.
of.
But even
zero.
American, this Brooklyn Lager makes a great. There's one that's called the Extra Hoppy. It's like an amber colored,
Nice.
really nice, really nice beer.
Mm.
If you guys get a chance, definitely source it and check it out. Guinness has one.
Yeah, we'll try that. We're
We're
going to try
do one
that
today,
next.
Guinness
Are
Zero.
we?
That's the.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait.
I mean, that just came out. I think it's only been out for a few.
We
months.
had talked about that a few times on the pod, and we were saying how we couldn't find it anywhere, but it was coming,
Yeah.
and now it seems like it's everywhere.
Yeah.
Cool.
I mean, there's like end caps in retail stores now. You walk in and there's like the end caps at the end of the aisle promoting.
Yeah. I mean,
non-alcoholic.
it's not just lagers and pilsners, and they have everything. They have stouts, they have porters, they have IPAs. They even have like hard ciders now that are non-alcoholic. So
Nice.
huge selection.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
So if you-
enjoying it.
So, folks, if you want to give up drinking, this is the time.
this is it.
This is how.
So, want to get back to the non-alcoholic beer in a second. We're about an inch into the Undercrown Maduro. What do you guys think? Because I think it's really satisfying so far.
It's satisfying. It's consistent. It hasn't changed.
I would classify its flavor profile as, I would say, medium.
Yeah, it's
even.
medium.
I was expecting it to be full, given that it's
From the visual presentation.
yeah, and it's their Maduro, comparing to Liga, but it seems like a medium.
It started out a little bit on the fuller side, and then it has kind of subsided.
This is
kind of
true.
settled in a little bit. Yeah.
And
There's so much smoke.
It's
Oh yeah. Every one of these is like a chimney.
yeah, great combustion.
So a buddy of mine was telling me that a Liga, Drew Estate, what they do is they spray something on these
pesticide.
cigars, which really produces a smoke, or helps.
That's disturbing. If that's
We
true.
talked about that on the Liga episode as well.
We
because
did, right?
we
Yeah.
were all looking at that wrapper and the sheen of it, and I think somebody, I don't know if it was Grinder or you,
It's a
Pagoda,
little iridescent.
had mentioned that they, there's rumors out there. I don't know if it's confirmed or not, but that there's some sort of added process that the wrapper leaves go through to create more.
Not sure if I
smoke.
like that.
I don't know if
Oh,
I like it either.
I don't know
but-
if it's true, guys. Like,
Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
it's just a rumor.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
saying I don't know, but all their cigars certainly put out a lot of smoke,
Mhm.
and this one's no exception.
Honestly, I've never had a bad Undercrown or a Liga. Not ever.
Yeah.
They're very, very consistently made.
I find the Undercrown shade to be a little disappointing in flavor for me. It just doesn't fit my palate. Never
I've-
really has actually.
I've never had that.
I've had the sun grown a few times, but this is definitely more in my wheelhouse for
I
sure.
don't like the sun grown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So back to non-alcoholic beer. So Rooster, I'm curious if you know, or Grinder, you may as well. Why all of a sudden is there a boom of non-alcoholic products? It seems like for as long as I was alive, drinking or not, the only non-alcoholic beer I ever knew was O'Doul's.
I got three words for that.
What is that?
Too many DUIs.
Okay.
I don't know. Just guessing.
I mean,
I think there's a lot of people who are maybe not drinking and they just want options.
Yeah.
And non-alcoholic way, it's like you can still you can still taste like beer, but not get drunk.
What's the calorie on these things?
Who cares?
No, I mean, is it like a zero
It's not
calorie?
it's not a light, but no, it's not a 0 calorie.
68 in
So-
this bottle.
So that's half the calories of a
It's more like a light beer.
light beer.
Yeah.
You
Light
know?
beer's around 120 or 130.
100,
so-
yeah,
So that's one
115. or-
advantage.
Yeah, so there's that. It's an expanding segment. That's why you
Could be.
It just seems all of a sudden that there's a major boom of these products
Yeah.
to the point that even the smaller breweries are making them.
There's some breweries that only make non-alcoholic beers.
Wow.
There's a brewery called Athletic Brewing Company. I think they only do non-alcoholic beers.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, there must be a huge market for it.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah.
Good for me.
And honestly, yeah, good
Yeah.
for you and good for all those individuals. They don't want to partake in alcohol. They want to be as healthy as possible.
And you know what's out now? You can get non-alcoholic tequilas, rums.
You know what? What the hell
You know,
is
I
the
mean,
point?
Well, the point is
The flavor. It's the
flavor.
yeah.
And like Senator actually had mentioned
Yeah,
the other
I was
day
just going to say that. Senator was
that
talking about Mrs.
he
Senator.
just had a baby and
Hmm.
Mrs. Senator is, breastfeeding and stuff, so she can't
She can't have a
take
drink.
alcohol. But
Yeah, but she
likes
really
to
wanted a
have an
margarita.
alcohol, so she,
Oh.
yeah,
Now, did he go out and
He
source
he
it?
did.
he did. He got some tequila,
She was very happy.
non-alcoholic tequila, and she's like it. And he apparently he tried it too, and he said it's delicious.
Oh,
He
That's
said
wonderful.
it was very passable.
Very cool.
So, it's good for folks that especially, obviously we're not a judgmental situation, but if you're a guy who's kind of been known to be a beer drinker, for your entire life, you go out with your beer drinking friends to bars, you watch sports, etc. Like this is providing a way that those folks don't have to feel
Mhm.
awkward or
Or
ostracized,
left out.
which they shouldn't, period. But
Yeah.
you know how some people are. We're not like that. But it's a very inclusive move, I think, by the liquor companies to make sure that everybody can enjoy, alcohol or not, which I think is a great thing. And I think that I'm happy we're doing this tonight because I think that this is enlightening for me and us.
That's a huge
know?
motivating factor from the point of view of the business.
Yeah.
It's an untapped market. And if you're including those people that have felt excluded for so long,
Yeah.
Fantastic.
And how much easier with great beer choices like this is somebody going to be willing to put their hand up and say, you know what, I'll be the designated driver tonight.
Yeah. Let me have an out.
I'll drink a Beck's or I'll drink a Guinness or I'll
Right.
drink,
It's great.
these killer beers that are out. Like, that's awesome.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
could drink a whole 6-pack
Very
and have zero issues. Yeah.
Zero.
My-
You've
my-
done that.
Heineken Zero.
My January detox just became better.
Yeah. Yeah, this is really good. The Beck's is really, really nice.
Wow.
So
I'm surprised it has a Beck's flavor.
Mhm.
You know,
yeah, this Undercrown is really in a way it's surprising me because I don't think as of right now that it's that far from how I felt about the Liga.
It is right now a one-act play, though.
It is
Okay.
certainly.
But that's not a bad thing. It's consistent.
I think the Liga was better.
Oh,
It is-
yes.
More
It certainly was.
more intense
Yes.
flavor.
More into yeah. Yeah,
It was more interesting and it changed. And there
It
were
was definitely more complex.
Yeah, there
Yeah.
were fruit notes, dried fruit notes, a lot of raisin in that, some deep cocoa in that cigar.
But for the price point, this is not bad.
This is
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
It's great.
big fan.
It's the working man's, like they call it the working man's high-end cigar or something.
Certainly the working
Makes
man's Liga.
sense.
Who's not a working man?
I know.
That's true.
We're all working men.
That's true.
One way or
I'm
the
a
other.
working man. So
I love the band on this.
It's a nice.
Yeah,
mellow
the band
call.
is great.
Yeah, it's eye-catching.
the fact that it comes in a tubo makes it even.
Oh, yeah.
I love a tubo, man.
I do
When I saw that John had gotten them here at 1086, I was telling Henry and I were walking through the humidor, and I was like, I just love the fact you can grab that tubo, go to the golf course, you're going to a wedding,
Throw it in your
you
bag.
throw it in the bag.
Go to the golf course. You don't play golf.
No, but I'm saying for a lot of folks that do, go throw some discs. It's
It's-
disc golf.
It's
When
versatile
you go
because
to
it's
concert.
protected.
You go to a concert.
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
Concert.
Or
Where can you smoke? It's all no
Yeah, I mean,
smoke.
getting there and back.
in the Uber.
I had a colleague of mine who was up in Ottawa over the week, and he was telling me how you can't smoke anywhere in Canada.
It's the worst cigar laws in Canada. Right?
oh,
I mean, it is bad.
In North America.
he
Yeah.
can't.
It's up there, it's worse.
And they have so much land.
They do.
Yeah, but
They're-
it's minus 25 degrees most of the times.
I mean, dude, they have ridiculous taxes, right? The costs are so prohibitive.
Yep.
They don't allow smoking even in cigar lounges. Any public place, there's no smoking. They cover all the bands and all the packaging with generic packaging like they would on cigarettes to not attract kids to them.
It is asinine.
It's ridiculous. It's totally ridiculous.
Well, they have good Indian and Chinese food.
I've heard that Habanos is, my understanding is that Habanos has actually reduced the amount of
Allocation.
vitolas that they ship into Canada
really?
because they have to do this.
Oh,
They have to do extra work. I think it's down to like 16 or 20
wow.
regular production vitolas actually end up in Canada at their retail
It's
shops.
unbelievable.
Versus, I mean, how many vitolas, how many marcas does Habanos have? I mean, it's crazy. So it's
Yeah.
very challenging to get great cigars
And
at good prices. Up
We
there.
know a few guys on a few of our groups that live up there, and
Yeah,
I
they-
feel for them.
They get punished, man. If those boxes get popped at customs, like
oh,
somebody sends them a box, they get hammered on taxes.
unbelievable.
Yeah, it's terrible.
I'll tell you, my trip to Montreal, they're never going to be the same again.
Now, if I'm traveling to Montreal from the States, can I bring a cigar through?
I would think so. A small amount that
A
doesn't
Cuban
look like
cigar?
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
now.
They don't care
No.
about Cubans.
Well,
There is.
No, I
a-
know that, but do I have to cover it and cover the band? No.
No.
Okay.
No. Only if it looks like you're trying to sell it.
Okay.
You have a quantity that's
Mhm.
looking like you're going to sell
yeah,
it.
right.
the issue would be like coming back. The U.S. has the embargo. Canada doesn't.
I don't think
so-
we're buying anything from Canada.
I don't think so.
Yeah, not at
No.
these prices.
No.
But they have a great Cuban cigar store over there
Yeah.
with a beautiful
In
bar
Mon-
in the
in
back.
I've heard.
Montreal,
In Montreal.
That you
yes.
can't smoke
That's
at.
that's closed
smoke
now,
there.
by the way.
No,
Yeah.
what are you?
Yeah, they closed
It's
it.
the LCDH on
Yeah.
Sherbrooke Street.
Correct.
It's closed.
But did you ever smoke a cigar there? And
Yeah,
Yeah.
How's
Maybe
that possible?
a while back.
3 years ago.
They changed the laws.
Oh,
Right-
recent.
right
That's a
before the-
recent.
yeah.
I didn't know
Right
that.
before the pandemic, In fact, we were there for one of my birthdays, and we all smoked Cuban cigars, and we had hibiki, and it was a great bar in the back, and we were just enjoying ourselves. It was
Great strip clubs in Montreal.
I don't know what you're talking about.
World class.
I don't know what you're talking about.
For what I hear.
And it's funny, we were there like, must be like early 2000s or late 90s.
Do tell.
And we went to, this is not a strip club story, by the way.
We were all listening and paid it. All right.
I've never seen the room
You know
get
what?
so focused.
Rooster, pipe down.
Why did you say that? Because you had our attention.
That's a different story.
You could
This
hear
is-
us-
this is about the Sherbrooke store, the
Sure.
LCDH in Montreal. So a friend of mine and myself, we went there. We drove to Montreal, got a cigar, and had a fantastic. It was a ham and brie sandwich, right, on a baguette. Just food in Montreal is superb.
It's really
With
good,
the
yeah.
French influence and all that. I mean, it's fantastic.
Wow.
We get back to the hotel, and I'm sitting in the hotel lobby, and at that time you could actually smoke in the hotel lobby. They had like a cigar room, and I picked up a magazine. It was a Cigar Aficionado magazine, and guess who was on the cover? It was George Burns.
Oh yeah.
Remember that copy of the Cigar Aficionado with him on the cover?
Mm.
And the news comes on, and he died that day.
Wow.
Wow.
While I'm looking at that magazine, George Burns is on the cover. I look at the TV. I'm like, George Burns dies, and he was 99. I
Yeah, it was
think.
almost 100. I think.
Wow.
And he was a lizard.
He
Oh,
was.
He was
He's an OG lizard.
True lizard.
true
Oh, yeah.
lizard. He
How many
smoked-
cigars a day?
10, and he smoked factory made Queens. What are they? What's the manufacturer?
I don't know.
10 cigars a day. 10.
Wow.
10. He got shipped every month. The
They were-
manufacturer.
They were Churchills, weren't they?
No, they're little.
Mm.
I'll tell you right now.
They weren't small
But
cigars.
They got he got 300 of these cigars, and they were shipped in. They came in glass tubos. He got
Cool.
300 a month.
That's cool.
10 a day,
Wow.
and he would panic. I guess if the shipment was getting close to like the due date, he would panic. Like, where the hell are my cigars?
We act the same way when we're waiting for our shipments.
He do.
I guess he didn't have a tower.
He didn't have a tower. I don't think.
They
so.
were
Yeah,
all
so-
under glass.
He smoked El Productos.
Don't know what that
So
is.
they were machine made,
Cuban?
like almost like
Swisher Sweets.
Like someone
yes,
on the,
like you could buy them
So
in a gas station.
oh, wow.
Not
Yeah.
good.
And he had offers from every manufacturer to make cigars, sell them cigars, give them cigars, and he only smoked one cigar
Isn't
10
that-
times a
That's
day.
cool. There's something about
Amazing.
that. Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah, El Producto Queens in glass
That's pretty
tubos.
cool, though. You know.
Oh, yeah.
That's a wild story.
Yeah.
Those days are gone, though. smoking-
Burnsy.
Yeah.
So you didn't go there for the Jazz Fest or Formula One?
No,
No.
it was winter. No, Jazz Fest is supposed to be really cool up there, and obviously, I want to go for the Formula One. That would be awesome.
It would be.
It's an excellent time, yeah.
Yeah, I was actually recently. I was watching one of the Formula Ones, and one of the big sponsors was Heineken, and it wasn't regular. It was Heineken Zero.
Wow.
Wow.
See, that's
was
what I
cool.
mean.
That's cool.
Like, think about how
How much money they're spending on
yeah,
promoting
on promoting this. Like, somebody has realized what an opportunity this
well,
non-alcoholic
Well, you can't
market
you
is.
drink
hit
and
it. You
drive.
hit it on the head earlier. A lot of people feel left out.
Yeah, and a lot of people aren't drinking alcohol.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, you
know.
can't drink and drive, meaning Formula One.
No.
That's a good point. So,
That was like a semi shank. It was like a
yeah, that was like a half shank from
Yeah.
Pagoda. So this Undercrown Maduro has an Otapa Negro Ultima San Andres wrapper. The binder is T52 Connecticut River Valley stock, cut cured Habano, and the filler is Nicaraguan. So the sources are pretty
diverse.
diverse in this
Nice.
cigar. And again, for $13, I mean,
That's quite the production to put this cigar together.
It is.
For that price.
Yeah.
This room is so
so smoky.
Oh, that's
so smoky.
This is rivaling the league.
This is like we have
Oh,
7
yeah.
people in here.
Oh,
But
yeah. No
Yeah.
doubt about it.
Yeah. So these come in the tubos that we're smoking again. The Gran Toro tubos come in boxes of 10. The suggested retail is somewhere around $150, but you can get them anywhere, around 120.
yeah.
something like that. So again, we paid $12.50 for these.
Can
which
we
I think
try
is
the Guinness?
Very reasonable.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I
time
was
to
just
move into
thinking that.
Guinness.
Oh, nice.
So we're into the Guinness now. Guinness Zero. It looks, as Grinder was pouring it for all of us, it looks like a normal Guinness from the North Lounge.
It looks like a chocolate bomb.
It does. Let's try this thing.
What are you getting on the nose?
Foam.
It's very good.
That's good.
Very passable.
Rooster, that is good.
It tastes like a Guinness.
Right?
I think that's closer than the Beck's, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Yeah.
This I couldn't tell if it was
Well, if it
alcohol
gets,
or non-alcoholic.
Grinder's approval, I
Yeah.
think,
Agreed.
Yeah.
means something.
Grinder actually liked the Becks too, I think.
I like the Beck's.
Love the
Yeah.
Becks.
The Becks has
My-
to be cold, has to be chilled.
It's a Pilsner. It has,
Pilsner,
yeah,
right.
yeah, it has to be. Yeah, but and I wasn't what I was in my comparison on the Beck's was that I could tell that there wasn't alcohol. Not that I didn't like it. It tastes great. It was a little sweeter than a typical Beck's, but I think it's probably the balance of the alcohol or something like that. This tastes actually like
Guinness all the way.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's good.
Tough to distinguish.
And it also,
I wouldn't be able to tell. Also, I don't get drunk off Guinness, so
Really?
like,
You won't be able to tell.
I
if
could
this
have
is
I
not-
could have
No.
6 pints of Guinness
Really?
and I would be sober as a fucking nun
yeah.
and sober as a nun and
That's when I would.
and I wouldn't be able to tell the difference.
That's when I would
so-
drop Bailey's and Jameson in it.
Oh, car bombs. Don't go to an Irish pub and say I want car bombs because it doesn't go over very well.
No. No.
You were pointing out as you were pouring it, it has the nitrous in it.
Yeah.
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 So it looks and feels like a Guinness. It has the texture.
It looks and feels like the thing that I like. There's a very distinct Guinness aftertaste. And this is the very same aftertaste.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
like a milky stout.
It is really, really good. Really good.
Yeah.
So how much does I'm going to speak generally. You can be more specific if it differs, but how much is non-alcoholic Guinness,
It's the
let's say,
same-
or
same price.
same price
Pretty much the same price.
as the other?
So these come in a 4-pack.
Okay.
And I think it was like $2 a can.
Okay.
Hmm.
Great.
About that.
Great.
Does a liquor store charge you a double tax for it being non-alcoholic?
You should charge less tax.
You don't need no tax.
Yeah. I am very impressed with this one.
Absolutely.
The Beck's was good. I'm very impressed with this.
Oh yeah. It's so good. Easy to drink. Very enjoyable.
Are you sure you didn't grab regular Guinness?
Could this
Well,
product be a bridge to someone that's struggling with alcoholism?
Actually, I think, I don't know, I could be wrong, but if you're a recovering alcoholic, do you even want to try like
I don't think it's a good
anything
idea.
that's
No, the
that's
answer- well,
similar to alcohol?
I'm not going to suggest it, but I know. So I have some recovering alcoholic friends that really are happy that there are options out there.
Mm.
They're not looking for the taste of alcohol per se, but for them, and I don't know if this is the right fit for everyone. I'm not making a judgment or an opinion, a recommendation, but I do know some folks who can't drink anymore, and they find that they're still able to live a lifestyle very similar to the one they had before, and a much healthier.
Yep.
By choosing to drink non-alcoholic beer.
Makes sense.
Watching a football game, a lot of folks tie that beer drinking experience to watching sports.
Yeah. Or hanging out with a group of friends.
Exactly.
at
And
a
now they
bar
can
or
do it.
wherever.
And check all the boxes they need to check and be healthy and
Yeah.
make the decisions they need to make. And it tastes like this, where we're sitting here and it's fantastic.
Yeah. It's almost impossible to distinguish this.
I'm gonna buy this beer.
I am too. And
Really?
Pagoda made a good point too.
I'm
There
gonna
are
buy it.
moments when I want to have a cigar and I don't necessarily want to drink alcohol, but I want to,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
And I'll tell you what,
That refreshing crispness of a
Yes.
beer. Yeah.
I'm shocked that you guys are saying this. You would actually buy a non.
I would totally buy this
beer.
Guinness.
because this is beer though. Like, I mean, at least for me, if I have 3-4 beers, I'm not gonna really get buzzed.
No.
And I like beer, so I'll drink a good amount of beer. And
Don't you want to get buzzed?
no, when I drink beer, I just love beer. I like the taste of beer.
Yeah.
I don't try to get banged up and I drink beer, because otherwise I probably would be an alcoholic.
Yeah.
Because I'll probably have, there might be two or three nights a week where I'll have, three or four beers after a long day, after putting my daughter to
And you
bed.
get a buzz.
I won't get a buzz.
You won't.
Yeah, it takes a lot of
For me.
beer for me, and I'm sure for you as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
To
Same here.
really get hammered on
So-
beer, but the act of drinking a beer and it's cold and it's refreshing and
That's great.
it's
It's
so
delicious.
freaking satisfying.
So like I
This is a great alternative because
not getting all those calories
oh yeah.
and not
Now is this
I'm not drinking the 3 or 4 beers to get a buzz or banged up. So what's the point? Really?
And if you have a meeting the next morning at 6 or 7 or 8 a.m.,
exactly?
you wake up, you're totally refreshed, and
Yeah.
you're like, everything's good.
Here's a question: Are the non-alcoholic beers less in calories, less
Yeah.
in carbohydrates?
think so.
Usually.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah.
right?
well,
Yeah,
do I have,
68
The Beck's
calories.
was. The Beck's was about half the
Yeah,
calories of
68.
a light beer.
This is
with alcohol.
probably about the same.
See, I think Mrs. Bam Bam would enjoy to have one of these beers at home.
Well, if I'm having a cigar on a Tuesday night on the deck
so
or
this is
around a fire, I'm going to reach for this.
this 12 ounce. This is 16 ounces or something. 4 to 15 ounces. This is 75 calories.
So that you're talking about the Guinness Zero,
Yeah.
75 calories for a 12-ounce can. That's fantastic.
Compared to what's in
What's
a
the
regular
normal?
Guinness.
Yeah.
Oh, it's got to be
couple
140.
yeah, 140, 200.
No.
Yeah, yeah. They're
For
very
a-
low in calorie.
For a
by the way.
12 ounce?
Yeah.
Someone look it up.
He's probably right.
On it.
Yeah,
No, I believe
Rooster's
him.
on
I
it.
believe him. I believe him.
Yeah, this is really delicious, and it's pairing very well with this cigar.
Yeah.
I actually like this pair
But
Me too.
better than the Beck's.
the what 145? I think that's the 12 ounce serving size though.
No, I think it's the same cans, right?
Rooster's
Well, this
gonna
one
win.
is the serving size on this is 1.25. So I just said 75.
125.
Oh wow.
There you go. Yeah,
There you go.
yeah because
Still?
That's a 12-ounce can of Guinness.
That's what I just said. So
Yeah.
so he might be right then.
Yeah,
160, 155.
which is great.
Yeah.
yeah, meaning if you think about a regular Corona is 200 calories.
A Corona.
Who actually drinks Corona?
Me.
A lot of people
My
drink
wa-
Corona. A
My
lot.
wife loves Corona Light with
in the
lime
summer. Yeah, in the
Yeah.
summer it's great.
Yep.
There's only one place I drink Corona,
on the beach,
on the beach.
On the beach in Mexico.
just like Snoop Dogg.
Anywhere.
Then
So,
you get
um,
the beach.
Jersey Shore. See,
Bam.
you guys like the Guinness.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Bam's
It
point
makes me
that
happy.
this is pairing really well with this cigar.
It is
I
pairing
think
very
it pairs better than the Beck's pairs with this particular cigar.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's matching up perfectly. I think
Yeah.
it brings out
Yeah.
a little bit of like a sweet thing in the cigar.
I agree.
The
that-
coffee-ish flavor.
It's like
I
it's
agree.
helping enhance that.
I
I've been
agree, I
I've
agree.
been like literally just drinking this beer since we've transitioned.
You
That,
forgot to
that my cigar went out and I haven't been smoking the cigar. So let me relight the cigar.
Didn't we do
Enjoy the
Guinness
conversation
with the Liga
again.
number 9?
I think we
I
did
a-
have
I
the
have
Guinness.
a feeling we did the regular Guinness with the
I think you might be right.
yeah.
Honestly, that was a delicious pairing. I loved that evening.
No, we did Eagle Rare.
Eagle Rare.
What did we do the Guinness with?
We did a Guinness.
I know
We
it
did that
pair
with the
well.
EP Carrillo El Senador.
Oh, that works.
Yeah.
That works.
Yeah.
I mean I could smoke this a lot.
Yeah,
This is a fun.
for me, for $12, I think this is very high up on the scale as far as flavor and performance and construction.
Nothing tough about it. You know,
Yeah.
no ammonia at all.
No, not at all. And I do think it's kind of become a 2-act play at this kind of right beyond halfway point. It is a little different for me.
Not for me yet. I think I need to
I'm
get-
finding it to be a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little different.
Hmm.
A little bit more oomph. I think the sweetness. I'm gonna give that credit to the
To
Guinness.
the beer, yeah.
But it's a really really nice experience right now.
The retrohale is very rich.
It is.
And there aren't many bands with the name of the cigar on the back of it.
Oh, on the underside of the band.
Yeah. Not many cigar makers do that.
Yeah. I mean, Jonathan Drew, those guys over there at Drew Estate, I mean, they know how to
Market.
market, and the packaging, the presentation,
Yeah.
it's always very high quality. Even for these smokes that, they could bundle these in saran wrap and charge the same price, but they choose to really
Yeah.
present them
They're
nicely.
spending money on their branding and their identity and their labeling for sure.
Yeah, this is really impressive.
He distributes Horde de Nicaragua. which is a fun. I'm very fond of that cigar.
It's a classic cigar.
I just saw that Metallica. I don't know if you guys saw.
Yes.
Metallica
doing a
announced
cigar.
recently that they're doing. So they have blackened whiskey, and now they're doing a blackened M81 Metallica 1981. Because I guess James Hetfield, the singer, is a lizard, and
Really?
Jonathan Drew and Drew Estate have paired with James Hetfield to
Do
make a great cigar. Yeah, and
I saw that it was on CA.
yeah, it was Cigar Aficionado. I saw that notice.
I hope we don't.
Pretty
review
cool.
It.
It may be very good. I mean, look at how good this is. I mean, I don't think there's any sort of weird
Kitschiness to
flavor.
that thing?
No, I don't think
Oh,
so.
okay.
I mean, apparently the bourbon they have is very good. The whiskey.
Wow.
It's going to be called Sandman.
I listen. I think that is a good example. We've talked about stuff that brings people into the hobby. I think that's very cool. That I mean, the biggest metal band in the world, one of the biggest bands ever. I mean, is celebrating cigars.
That's kind of cool.
Premium
Yeah.
cigars.
Yeah, that's actually.
and he's
very
doing it right with a proper partner.
I mean, just think about what's going on in the tequila world,
Mhm.
you know, with all the celebrities kind
And
of coming out with
cool.
tequilas.
And they're all awful.
They're awful, but they sell.
They do sell because the general public doesn't know a good
Right.
tequila
So
from a bad tequila.
Same thing could happen with cigars. I mean, a lot of the celebrities could be endorsing and
Yeah.
getting
That
into-
happened though. I mean, in the cigar boom, that happened. There were a lot of celebrities out there that had cigars, and they sucked and they fell apart.
Yeah.
And there's very few now that are succeeding. But we're smoking a Drew Estate cigar. We love Liga. We're enjoying this. I'm optimistic.
Okay.
I'm optimistic.
We shall see. Like the Liga 9, this has a creaminess to it. The smoke is velvety.
This is a long smoke too. I mean,
It is.
How long have we been going here?
It's a good question. We've probably been going,
Almost an hour.
yeah, almost an hour, 50 minutes or so, I
There's a
think.
lot left.
Yeah. I can't see the timestamp, but
I-
it's probably just under an hour.
I don't know. I like cigars with great smoke output.
Sure.
Yeah.
Of course.
Senator always says that. Want to be a chimney. I think he'd be enjoying this right now.
I think you're right.
I don't know if Puba would like this very much, but I think Senator would.
Well, I can just picture Puba because I'm sitting where Puba usually sits, and Puba would be shitting on the beer and the cigar.
There's no doubt about the beer that he would be shitting on. The cigar is up for debate. I think he'd like the Liga 9.
Yeah.
I think he would like this.
I think he would drop it.
No.
He'd
There's
throw it in the
nothing,
lake.
there's nothing offensive about this cigar at all.
Yeah, cigar's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's like a
It's very
younger
easy.
brother to a Liga.
Yeah.
It
Liga
is.
number
It's really
9.
easy to smoke.
Yeah.
And they're very easy to get. You can get these
Right.
anywhere.
Right.
And they always have them. They're always in stock. Very consistent price. I'm certainly going to reach for these. You go to a place, you want to have a cigar,
Yeah.
I'll grab one of these.
Of course.
No question.
Great construction, man. Like overall, yeah, the wrap is. Yeah, so this San Andres wrapper, the Mexican wrapper, the couple of cigars we've smoked, and they have the same wrapper, and I think, like the Olivia V,
Yeah.
the
The Churchill.
Maduro,
The
Oliva,
Churchill.
the Oliva V, yeah.
Oliva V. Churchill. Yeah.
Oliva V, yeah. So I think that has a San Andres wrapper. The EP Carrillo,
The El
La
Senador.
Historia,
Oh,
La
La Historia.
Historia.
Haven't had that.
Yeah. I haven't had that either. The only one we had the Pledge prequel, and we had the El Senador.
Yeah. Which
And
was
the El Senador wiped the floor with the other one.
outstanding.
Yeah, it was a great cigar.
For the price?
Yeah.
I used
I
to
mean,
re-
listen, on the podcast, I mean, we've said this before, but a lot of these new worlds have been an absolute revelation. And this is another one for me, where I wouldn't reach for these cigars normally, but I think it's really good.
just overall, there's so many options out there. It's just unbelievable the number of new world options out there, and there's a huge following for so many of the different cigars. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah. I think the shortage with Habanos that we've talked about ad nauseum here on the podcast, but I think it's forcing people to reconsider,
Not just the
jumping
shortage,
into the world.
but also
The price.
The
the
price,
price and the possible counterfeit
Yeah.
Cubans that could be coming up now.
Yeah. Not good.
It's so disappointing.
It's not good.
Do you guys know if he grows his own tobacco?
I think he does.
He does.
And Esteli. Nicaragua. Yeah.
So he grows, he manufactures, and he distributes.
Yeah. I think it's just like Padron and Davidoff.
And he also rolls for other other bands and brands. I
And
guess.
Does
Yeah,
he?
but I think Drew Estate was sold out to a much larger company.
I think it may have been bought recently.
where are
Yeah.
these manufactured? Where are they rolled?
I should.
Esteli, Nicaragua.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Now, isn't there going to be a potential embargo on Nicaraguan product?
There's a rumor about that. I guess Biden's administration was saying that they're kind of considering Nicaraguan government to be dealing with terrorists, or they're kind of in that zone. So it's been mentioned that there's going to be an embargo on Nicaraguan import.
That would be painful.
That would be bad for us, but I don't think it's going to happen. But I hope it doesn't happen.
Right.
It's like a reemergence of Noriega.
What's that?
Noriega.
I don't know what that is.
No, Noriega was the man in charge in
Oh.
Nicaragua back
Back in the day.
in the day. You know, he's no more, but maybe
Ruthless.
he's,
He's
yeah.
ruthless. Yeah.
ruthless dictator.
Oh, yeah.
Generalissimo.
Yeah, so it was Drew Estate was bought by a company called Swisher International.
Swisher
Oh, that's right. That was that was a few years ago.
2014.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So it's the Ziegler family that owns Swisher, and they're from Darien, Connecticut.
There you go.
Oh, my gosh.
What did they pay for it? So
I
there.
don't think they disclosed that.
Well, they've been. I was about to say something really stupid, but please.
Have you ever
edit
had Swisher Sweets, by the way?
I've never had a Swisher Sweet.
No,
No, you guys?
No.
I'm surprised you haven't.
I know, right?
No way.
Why? Is
Why?
it
I mean,
Me?
that's what we
You're the
we'd
chocolate
s-
man.
when- when
a PA?
we'd smoke
You fucking
we'd
chocolate
smoke
man.
Swisher Sweets and drink freaking Keystone Light in the
It's
woods.
true. I never had a Swisher Sweet.
Or Lion's
I
Head.
had plenty of Keystone Light and Yangling.
Yingling,
Oh,
Lion's Head.
Yingling.
Yangling.
Yingling.
That's a beer.
That is one of my
They
go-to
make. I
beers
think
of
they
all
make
time.
a non-alcoholic as well. You should try.
I think
Is
it's
that
like
right?
I'm not-
$24.
I was never a fan of Yingling.
Oh,
Oh,
I
you're
love it.
joking.
Yeah, me neither.
Oh.
It's
It's like not
You know,
kidding
Rolling
me.
Rock, Yingling.
yeah, please,
not a
crappy.
fan.
Yeah, no, Rolling Rock not good, but the Yingling, dude.
Yingling's
Sold.
great.
Yeah?
So I
Yingling's
lived in
great.
Philadelphia for 3 years, so I fell in love with Yingling there,
It's
and
so
I've never
good.
stopped loving it.
Well,
It's
that's
so
the
good.
only beer they serve there.
Well, that's not true. That is not true.
love
Bush, Schmitz. No.
There's a lot of good beer there. Grinder, they're trying to take us down, us Pennsylvania
Well,
boys.
No,
Yeah.
man. I'm.
But anyway.
I've got your back.
Swisher Sweets. Apple. Swisher Sweets, like apple flavored. It was like a green wrapper. Disgusting, but also amazing at the same time. You're just slamming and they have a pre-cut hole.
So you don't have to snip it.
No. It's like a flavored tip.
Wow.
not happening on the pod.
No, we're not going to be doing Swisher Sweets on the pod.
No.
No, and it's not long filler, right? It
Oh, it's definitely short filler.
Yeah.
Yeah, machine made, I'm sure.
uh-huh.
That's one way to drop an audience.
Oh, Keystone Light does a lot for that as well.
Yeah.
You know what I had a lot of when I was in Philly? Black and tans.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Very popular.
oh, they were great.
With harp,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good call.
that's the way to do it.
Absolutely.
Harp and
And a Yingling.
Yingling.
What?
No.
That's not black and tan, please.
Oh, wait a minute. What was the beer that?
Bass. No.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's Bass. He's right. Bass. Yes,
Bass is great beer.
It is a good beer.
There's a. Have you ever mixed Bass with a Boddington's?
No, I haven't. I
It
love
is
Boddington on
delicious.
its own.
It's
yeah.
a delicious beer, or a Boddington's with a harp. Also,
I
amazing.
haven't. I got to try that. But I'm a huge Boddington fan. just
Oh,
on its own.
I know this. Yeah, I
love-
wanted to do Boddington's.
Yeah, we're
We
going to do
should.
that on
I
the
think
pod.
we should.
We're going to do that on the pod.
And I
at some
think it's a
point.
great fall drink as
It's
well.
such a creamy beer.
Creamy.
You know what else is really good that I used to love? Anchor Steam
Yeah,
from San Fran. I think we talked about
did,
this in the
yeah.
past, right? Really delicious beer.
it's so good.
So we're coming into the last third here, boys, of the Undercrown Maduro. I think it's really good.
It's good, but for me, it stayed very consistent. It has the hasn't come for me. I'm enjoying it.
You know, I was thinking about my comment. I think what I've been doing, I've been pulling on it a little more than I usually do
Mhm.
because I'm just enjoying the smoke output.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably contributing to.
I'm sure it is.
I'm just making it a little
Strength.
more
Yeah.
hot. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
I'm just pulling on it more.
It's a nice, consistent smoke.
So I got a complaint. I'm curious if you guys are on the same page with me here. I'm incredibly irritated. I am tired of being asked for tips everywhere I go
On
at every transaction.
Tips, you mean?
I had a roof put on my house.
Oh wow, yeah.
Okay. And the guy asked me if I wanted to tip the roofers.
Which guy?
What?
The owner of the roofing?
No, the
company?
person like doing the billing.
Oh boy.
And I'm like,
No.
I was like, why would I do that? Like, factor it in your price.
Yeah, no.
Panera Bread. You go to Panera Bread. You talk to this person. They're like irritated you're there. They're mad you're ordering your pick two.
Someone at Panera asked you for a tip.
You can't
No, it's
transact.
automatic.
You can't transact without making a tip decision.
Yeah, you put 0.
So I put 0.
Yeah,
always.
yeah. But they stare at you. They see what you're doing.
That's okay.
I feel immense guilt.
No,
You know
during
what
the
it-
pandemic, I did tip, right? Because I think those were extraordinary times. But I'm back to 0 tipping.
Yeah, we
You go
gotta
pick
talk
up
about
pizza,
this.
and they turn it around, and there's a 20% right in front of you, and
Yeah,
there's a small
that's
little
crazy.
0 on the side.
So
It's crazy.
giving a gratuity is always earned.
I agree.
So it depends on if you're at a retail establishment like a Panera Bread, and if they make good eye contact and they're friendly and they're very helpful, 100% that person will get a tip from me. But if they're not paying attention to you and they're rushing you and trying to move you along, no tip.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
All right. So, what do you feel about this? This is a new thing that's been happening a lot, and it's at the restaurants, and it's a lot of different places now. Your credit card processing company, right, charges the company, or let's say if you're my client and you buy something,
There's a
at the
processing
store,
fee.
Yeah.
there's a processing fee that I pay.
Yeah,
Right?
2 to 4%.
2 to
usually.
4%. Amex is a little bit higher.
Yeah.
Visa, MasterCard is about 2.5%. So now what they're doing is they're giving vendors free equipment, charging them a higher processing fee, and that processing fee gets passed on to the consumer.
Oh boy.
Right. So you go to a restaurant and she hands me, this was the other day, she hands us 2 bills. If you want to pay cash, it's this price. If you want to pay by a credit card, it's going to be the tax amount is equal on both,
Yeah,
but
sure.
you pay a 4% processing fee. So they're passing on the processing fee to the consumer.
Which is technically, by the way,
It's illegal.
it's
I think.
against their agreement with
Wow.
the credit card processors. Like Amex, obviously, when you sign up to be an Amex merchant, you can't charge people more money who are doing a non-cash transaction, because then why would people want to use their Amex?
Right.
Right. So it's first off, it's unethical, but it is against their agreement. But this shit drives me
I don't know
crazy.
how they're getting away with this.
I don't know either.
I've never heard of that or experienced that. In a
You'll
restaurant.
I've
see
seen
it.
service
You'll see it.
charges.
Yeah.
3% service charge, 5% service charge.
Yeah, it's fine. I pay that.
No, but that's
I'll reduce
that's
it from the tip.
processing fee.
It's on the business.
They're charging you on top of the sales tax. They're charging you another 4%.
Oh wow.
It's an
And
additional line
then
item.
another 18 or 20% gratuity.
It just takes a phone call.
Yeah, well,
To who?
Who are you going to call?
Consumer
Oh,
reports.
Ghostbusters?
Who you going to call?
Who are you going to call?
Consumer affairs. You call consumer affairs.
I mean, I'm just
Send me
it's
their number.
You
having
got it.
having been in Europe and stuff. I mean,
There's no
how
tips.
different the culture is there with no tips. People are paid well. It's factored in.
Yeah.
It's just I don't understand why we can't get this right here for non-service tipping. Makes no sense to
That's
me.
crazy.
I'm a proponent of no tipping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would definitely be in for that. Pay your employees a higher salary so they don't have to. And if the service is exceptional, we'll go above and beyond and tip.
I'm a great
right?
tipper, man.
Always. So
Always.
that's a
Yeah.
great point. If
Yeah,
it's
because-
above and beyond, it's worth a tip.
Because even if you get shitty service, they still expect an 18 to 20% tip.
No, so I really, they're on performance. I mean, I take the Mrs. Bam Bam out for dinner. How's the service? Is it good? I get a tip. If it's not,
Do you ever tip
Not
less
happening.
than 15%, even if the service is shitty?
no.
None
See,
of us do.
none of
See,
us will
that's
do that.
none of us
No.
do.
That's a
None of
problem.
us will do that.
Yeah, because it's ingrained in you, right?
Yeah.
So,
Like you feel bad.
yeah,
Like it actually takes away. Like even if the service is bad, I have this weird guilt thing with it.
There
That
is-
even if I'm treated like absolute shit, I'm still going to tip 15%.
So here's one little thing. If I go to an establishment over and over and over for a bunch of years and I love it there, I will be generous with tipping
Me too.
because I want to keep them happy and they know me.
Yeah, they take care of you.
But
There you kind of want to tip and take care of them. And the places that you continue to frequent are usually very good and the service is usually excellent.
So you
That's
gotta
why you go there.
you got to make sure that the establishment is actually passing on the tips to the service.
I hand
Right.
every server cash.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah,
cash tip.
never in a credit card.
Yeah, because what's happening is a lot of the restaurants have really increased the wages of the people working there, especially
right.
during the pandemic, because they could not find
Yeah,
people.
retention
Yeah, for retention. So they've really increased that. But what they're doing in turn is
is taking the tips.
They're keeping the tips.
Is that
Well,
legal?
No,
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know how that works. Don't ask me.
definitely not. I mean, unless they're making the customer aware that the tip is going to the restaurant, that's not a tip.
Agreed.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
To your point, and all of our points, like if I'm getting exceptional service at a place that really gave us a great night, if I take, Mrs. Gizmo out, I'll tip 25, 30%.
Oh, me
no
too.
question.
Yeah, no question about
No
it.
question.
That's
If
an
I'm
easy
treated well.
no-brainer.
Because then I leave there and I feel better about the entire meal.
And you're going to go back.
And I'm going to go back.
Yeah.
Guess I'll want to serve you any day now.
Grinder, what's your policy
I
on
would
this?
be terrified if I were a server at your table.
My table?
Yeah.
Why?
You got high standards and you're quick to call out bullshit,
Yeah.
I'll get him the Don Julio in here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. I do have a low tolerance for
Stuff.
bullshit.
That's a good story.
What's that?
The tequila that you were served that wasn't actually what.
Yeah,
was it
they said
tequila
it-
or Bacallan.
It was tequila. They said
Yeah.
it was something else. I thought they said it was 42. I knew it was. They said it was Don Julio Nejo. I knew it wasn't.
Okay.
And then after some real arguing,
Yeah.
we
They
found
admitted
out
it
it was
was
true.
wrong.
Yeah, they were wrong.
and they admitted it.
They admitted it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my philosophy on tipping, I'm beginning to realize that tipping is not as like the way it's being manipulated is not as like I've always been a generous tipper, but I don't have tolerance for ineptitude anymore. And if I don't get the service that I want, or if my order's wrong, or anything like that, I won't tip you.
Right.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
At all?
Sorry. For
No,
my-
I agree.
And to Bam Bam's point, you got to earn it. One of the things that's frustrating for me is I can't get an Uber ride anymore because all the Uber drivers are doing like Uber Eats and DoorDash because they're getting fucking tipped because it's ingrained in our culture to tip your server.
Yeah.
And you have this guy bringing your food and you're thinking, oh, he's my server. No, he's just an Uber driver.
Yes.
I don't tip my Uber driver. Do you guys tip your Uber?
Never.
I don't tip him.
I tip my Uber driver.
I don't tip.
I don't tip him.
I don't tip the Uber driver
And-
for food or.
You know why I don't tip my Uber
shuffled
driver?
around.
Because I started using Uber when Uber was very, very new. And tipping was never part of the equation.
Oh, they added it.
And they
Later.
added it later. So I grew up using Uber, but I started using Uber very frequently because I was traveling a lot. And I never had a tip. And
You
I will
rank
say
well
that-
now it's
above
asking
them.
for a tip. No, I've never tipped you. I'm not going to start tipping you just
So-
because you're asking for it.
I've had some exceptional Uber drivers,
Right.
and I have tipped them.
Yeah.
So they'll offer me a hand wipe. They'll give
Water.
they'll give me a mint and a water, and pretty decent conversation, and just not looking at the road. That guy should get something
I agree.
See,
because I enjoy it. I enjoy the ride more.
I tip you more when you
Do
don't
they hand
talk
you
to
the
me.
mint and then you put it in your mouth?
Well,
If you're very chatty,
it's in a wrapper.
Yeah, see, I'm in Grinder's camp. If they're chatty with me, I get irritated.
I don't want to talk to you, dude. I don't want to
Yeah.
like know your story. I don't care.
I don't mind that.
I
See,
don't
but
give a
Uber
shit.
now, when you sign up for the ride, you could tell them your preferences.
Yeah.
So I always go quiet
Mute.
and cold.
I want to meet
So do
driver.
I want
Quiet and
I want it quiet and I want it cold
Get
in the,
the
car,
AC
man.
on.
Crank that AC.
I
Crank
sit,
it,
I
baby.
sit in the front.
I do
Oh,
too a lot.
gosh.
When I'm traveling with the family, yeah,
Oh,
I end up sitting in the front.
no
You
way.
do? Do you do that?
When we travel with the kids, yeah, because there's I'm up front.
So, boys, we are coming to the end of our evening here. I want to do formal liquor but non-alcoholic ratings
Yeah.
on both beers. All right, boys, let's rate the Becks. Bam Bam, you're up.
I'm giving it a 7.
7. Pagoda.
7.
Grinder.
7.
I'm going to give it an 8. Rooster.
Yeah, 7.
Okay. The formal liquor rating
Well, no,
on the Beck's
non-liquor.
non-alcoholic is a 7.2.
But guess why 8?
It's pretty good.
Because I thought it was pretty good. I think
It's-
it's one notch. You're getting a preview of what I'm going to do in the Guinness, but I
That's
think it's like
great.
one notch below the Guinness for me, and I generally like Beck's beer.
Yeah.
You know, I like Beck's regular beer. So, all right, so let's keep moving. Let's do the Guinness non-alcoholic.
The
Bam
Guinness,
Bam, you're up.
Guinness gets an 8 from me.
Okay.
Delicious, chocolatey, really, really good, easy to drink.
Okay.
Same here, 8.
8. Grinder.
8.
8. I'm going 9 on that one, boys.
There you go.
Going 9.
Yeah, me
Rooster.
too. 9.
9.
All right. Formal liquor rating on that is an 8.4.
Outstanding.
So a 7.2 for the Becks and an 8.4 for the Guinness. I think those ratings are perfect. I'm glad we did this tonight. So we're coming to the end of the Drew Estate Undercrown Maduro and Gran Toro. What are you guys thinking before we rate this thing?
You know what's crazy? I'm an inch down from the end, and usually at this point for most New Worlds, it's kind of hard to smoke, right? I can take this all the way down.
And I would say
Very easy.
most New Worlds in this price range
Yeah, hard
in the
to
last
finish.
third get very difficult to finish.
Yeah.
And I'm not feeling like that at all.
Kuba
with
would have
this.
thrown us at the wall by now, but this is really smooth.
Yeah, I think it's very good. What do you guys think?
I think it's a good cigar. I mean, I'm enjoying it. I got a lot of flavor. I get some of the notes and the hints and the subtleties of a typical Liga. Not as much, so it's a little lighter. Kind of like the beer we're drinking.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm very happy, very satisfied. I'd smoke it again. I'd buy a small box.
10 count. Perfect. I like them in the tubos.
Yeah, I agree with your assessment. I mean, it's like a younger brother to a Liga number 9. Very smokable. For the price,
Yeah.
it's
Slam dunk.
worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah, most definitely. Would I buy a box? I'd probably take one from Grinder's box.
I will say though, it's such a versatile cigar. You can take it with you anywhere. It's in a tube.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, gives it a little bit more credibility because you can have this, like, I don't play golf, but you can easily have this on a golf course
Absolutely.
for the price that it is. Have it in the car.
Oh, this would be a great golf course cigar. Yeah.
Absolutely.
You know, Poop always talks about it. You could smoke it in a hurricane or tornado. I think you could. This would
Yeah.
absolutely work there.
Yeah, this will
The
work out.
combustion's so good.
So in the fall outside when it's crisp with a fire, great,
Yeah.
great smoke.
Yeah.
At a tailgate at Rutgers football game.
it'll hold up.
can pass
It'll
it.
hold up in a nice chilly day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
While you're eating
Absolutely.
chili.
Yeah.
Chili time.
Chili dog.
All right, boys, you ready to give this thing the formal lizard rating? All right, Rooster, you're up.
I'm going to give it an 8.
Okay. I'm also going to give it an 8. Grinder.
8.
Okay. Pagoda.
A 7.
Okay. And Bam Bam.
I am also going at a 7.
Formal lizard rating on this thing
7.6.
is a 7.6.
All right, so that's respectable.
Very respectable.
It's
For
a
this price
recommend?
point,
Yeah.
absolutely.
It's a
I
recommend.
think that's
Absolutely.
that's a fair rating for the cigar.
Yeah,
I think
it's
any
a
lizard should
recommend.
absolutely have a couple of these in their humidor for the occasions that we talked about. You know, or you may fall in love with this cigar. You know,
The price and its easy access, it just makes it a winner, I think.
absolutely. So, boys, we did a great non-alcoholic night. I'm so glad we did that. I'm looking forward to the next one. I want to try more of non-alcoholic beers as
Yeah, I'll get some
as we
different
go
ones.
on. Yeah, maybe some of the boutique-y ones. Be
Yeah,
cool
we'll
to
do
try.
some IPAs, some Brooklyn lagers.
A lot
Please, I
of
would
the
love
like
to try-
independent
Yeah.
brewers
Yeah, go
are
ahead.
making it like their own non-alcoholic. You go to like a brew pub or something,
Yeah.
they'll have an NA on tap.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I saw we were at Lake Placid like not too long ago, and we went for a hike, and we were kind of like towards the back of the property where the deliveries come in. There was a truck delivering cases and cases of Athletic Brewing non-alcoholic beer because that's all they make.
Wow.
The whole
Great.
the whole brewery is based upon non-alcoholic
Very cool.
brews.
Very cool.
Yeah, so it's
You were happy.
catching on.
And I'd love to hear too from lizards who don't drink, like Rooster,
Yeah.
to let us know what their favorites are. You know, email us, tell us what to try. Most of us in the room, you know, we're novices with non-alcoholic beer, and I'm certainly really intrigued by this tonight.
Yeah. It's a revelation. It'd be great to get other recommendations
Absolutely.
from listeners. Yeah.
All right, boys. So a 7.2 for the Beck's non-alcoholic, an 8.4 for the Guinness 0, and a 7.6 for the Drew Estate Undercrown Maduro in Gran Toro. 3 ratings tonight. I think that's a new one,
It's a record.
especially with two alcohols. So excellent. Great night, guys. Rooster, thanks for the non-alcoholic brews, and we'll see you all next week. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Thanks for joining us. You can find our merch store and ratings archive at our brand new website, loungelizardspod.com. That's loungelizardspod.com. Don't forget to leave us a rating and subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. If you have any comments, questions, if you want to reach out, say hello, tell us what you're smoking, email us, hello@loungelizardspod.com. You can also find us on Instagram @loungelizardspod. We really appreciate your time, and we'll see you next week.